This morning, a 71-year-old man left this world. We don't know his name or the chapters of his life, whether he was a storyteller, a gardener, or a quiet soul who loved watching the world go by. But his passing, like every life that crosses our path, carries a profound invitation. It asks us to stop, to breathe, and to wonder, what can we learn? What wisdom can his journey and its end offer us as we navigate our own? If you're here, you might be someone who's lived many seasons. Perhaps in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, carrying the weight and beauty of a life well lived. Or maybe you're younger, but you've started to ponder what it means to age, to live with purpose, to leave something meaningful behind. This video is for you. It's a heartfelt conversation, like sitting together over a warm cup of tea, about the lessons we can draw from a life that has ended and how those lessons can light the way for the days we have left. We'll explore the value of living fully, the gift of health, the grace of facing loss, the spiritual depths of our existence, and practical steps to make every day count. My hope is that by the end, you'll feel a spark, a small, actionable idea, whether it's a phone call, a new habit, or a moment of gratitude that makes your life feel even more vibrant. Let's walk this path together. Grab a notebook if you'd like, or just settle in. This is our time to reflect, to grow, and to honor the life we're still living. The news of this man's passing feels like a quiet bell ringing in our hearts. It reminds us that life is precious and time slips by more quickly than we think. At 71, he had lived through decades of change, through love, loss, courage, and those ordinary days that somehow hold their own kind of quiet magic. Maybe he was a father who taught his children how to ride a bike. Maybe he was a friend who always had a good joke to lighten the moment. Or maybe he was a dreamer who carried hope quietly in his heart. Whatever his story, his life speaks to something universal. Every day we are given is like a blank canvas, and what we choose to paint on it truly matters. Have you ever found yourself putting off something that really mattered to you? Maybe it was a heartfelt conversation you kept postponing, a place you've always dreamed of visiting, or a passion you placed on hold for someday. I've done that too, thinking there would always be a tomorrow to fall back on. But this morning's news feels like a gentle wake-up call. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed. What if today was the day you took just one small step towards something that lights you up? It doesn't need to be something big. It could be writing a letter to someone you love, trying out a new recipe, or simply going for a walk and noticing the world around you. I once heard a story about a woman who regretted not returning her mother's call before she passed away. What she missed wasn't a grand moment. It was a small one. Just the chance to say, "I love you." And it's those small moments that weave the fabric of our lives. So let's make a promise to ourselves today. We'll do one thing that makes us feel truly alive. Maybe that means calling a friend, writing in a journal, or sitting in stillness and feeling the sun on our skin. What's one small thing you could do today that would make you feel connected and present? Hold that thought. It might just be the beginning of something beautiful. Your life is a story, and every single day, you're writing its legacy. It's not about the wealth you accumulate or the recognition you gain. It's about the love you give, the memories you create, and the way you make others feel when they're around you. Think about the people who matter most to you. What do you want them to carry forward? Maybe it's a lesson you taught, a laugh you shared, or a quiet moment when you simply understood one another without saying a word. Picture someone you deeply care about, a child, a partner, a friend. What could you do today to brighten their world just a little? It doesn't have to be dramatic. A kind word, a shared memory, or your undivided attention can mean everything. These are the building blocks of a meaningful legacy. I remember a man who, after losing his father, realized the greatest gift his dad had left him was time. Not money, not achievements, just hours spent talking, laughing, and simply being there. That kind of legacy is within reach for all of us, starting now. Loss has a way of shifting our perspective. Sometimes it stirs something deep inside us, a desire to grow, to move, to live more fully. Maybe this man's passing is your invitation to set a goal that makes your heart come alive. It could be learning to play an instrument, volunteering in your community, or making time for a daily walk. Having a goal gives us a reason to wake up with purpose. It reminds us that we are still growing, still dreaming, and still very much alive. So take a moment to reflect. What is something you've always wanted to try but never did? It doesn't have to be big. It just needs to matter to you. Write it down or tell someone you trust. Let today be the day you take the first step, because your life, with all its unique, beautiful moments, deserves to be lived with intention. At 71, our bodies become like old friends. Familiar, full of stories, a little worn, but still showing up for us day after day. The news of this man's passing invites us to pause and reflect. How can we care for ourselves in a way that allows us not just to live longer, but to truly live with energy, purpose, and vitality? Health isn't about perfection. It's about honoring the body and mind that have carried us through so much, and choosing to support them as we continue forward. We owe ourselves that kind of care. Mornings are powerful. They set the rhythm for our entire day. But as we grow older, even simple habits can come with hidden risks. For example, getting out of bed too quickly can lead to dizziness, or even a fall, something that becomes more serious as we age. Here's a better way to begin your day. Instead of jumping up, try sitting on the edge of the bed for a moment. Take a few deep, steady breaths, then slowly rise to your feet. It's a small shift, but it can make a big difference. Another habit worth rethinking is skipping breakfast. I know the mornings can feel rushed, but your body needs that morning fuel. Even something simple, like a bowl of oatmeal with berries or toast with nut butter, can help stabilize your energy, sharpen your focus, and set a positive tone for the hours ahead. If you're not used to eating in the morning, start small. A banana, a handful of nuts, or even a warm drink can be enough. Your body will notice the difference, and it will thank you. Movement is another form of medicine. As we age, staying active becomes not just helpful, but essential. The good news? You don't need a gym membership or expensive gear. What you need is a willingness to move. A short daily walk, a few gentle stretches, or dancing in your living room to your favorite song, all of these can strengthen your heart, boost your mood, and help you feel more confident and independent. Studies show that regular movement lowers the risk of chronic illness and lifts our spirits, something we all benefit from as the years go by. Not sure how to begin? Start with just 10 minutes of movement today. Take a walk around the block, try a chair yoga video, put on music and sway. Pay attention to how your body feels, the warmth in your muscles, the ease in your breath, the joy in simply being present. And if it feels good, keep going. Make it a ritual. Better yet, invite someone to join you. Moving together brings connection, and that doubles the joy. When was the last time you checked in with your health? A simple doctor's visit, a blood pressure reading, or even an honest conversation about how you've been feeling can uncover small issues before they become bigger ones. It's not just about avoiding problems, it's about giving yourself the strength and clarity to enjoy the life you love. Think of your health as a gift, both to yourself and to the people who love you. By caring for your body, you're giving your loved ones more time with you, more laughter, more memories, more moments that matter. So go ahead, schedule that checkup, ask that question, or open up about how you're really feeling. You're worth the effort, every bit of it. And here's something beautiful to remember. Your health is part of your legacy. When you take care of yourself, you set an example. You show your children, your grandchildren, your friends, that aging doesn't have to mean fading, it can mean flourishing. I once heard about a woman who started walking daily in her 70s. Over time, her grandchildren joined her. That simple act became a cherished family tradition, one that wove together health, connection, and love across generations. That's the kind of legacy any of us can build, starting with one step today. So, what's one small, healthy habit you could begin? Maybe it's drinking an extra glass of water. Maybe it's going to bed a little earlier tonight. Maybe it's trying a new vegetable you've never cooked before. Whatever it is, let it be your way of honoring the life you've been given and stepping into the strength and joy that are still ahead of you. Absolutely. Here's rewritten into complete, well-paced sentences with a warm, conversational and inspirational tone. Loss is something we all face in life, but no matter how many times we experience it, it never feels routine. Hearing about this man's passing may stir memories of your own losses, or gently remind you of just how fragile life can be. So how do we walk through these tender moments? How do we support others when they're grieving? And perhaps more importantly, how do we find peace within ourselves? If someone you care about is grieving, know this. Your presence alone can be a powerful gift. Often we hold back because we're afraid of saying the wrong thing. But heartfelt, simple words can mean more than you realize. You might say, "I'm so sorry for your loss," or "I'm here if you need anything." These words may seem small, but they open a door. They tell the person, "You're not alone." Try to avoid common phrases like, "they're in a better place," or "everything happens for a reason." While those words may come from kindness, they can sometimes feel empty to someone who's hurting. Instead, if you knew the person who passed, share a memory. Or gently ask, "Would you like to tell me about them?" Just listening, truly listening, is one of the most healing gifts you can offer. Grief doesn't just weigh on the heart, it can make even the simplest tasks feel overwhelming. If you're supporting someone through a loss, think of practical ways to help. Maybe it's bringing over a warm meal, running errands, or helping with the laundry. I heard about a neighbor who quietly shoveled snow from a grieving family's driveway. It wasn't flashy, but it spoke volumes. I see you. I care. If you're the one grieving, please know, it's okay to accept help. Leaning on others isn't a sign of weakness. In fact, it's a quiet, courageous way of letting love in. If someone offers to support you, say yes. Let them sit beside you, bring soup, or simply share the silence. Human connection is what carries us when our own strength feels thin. There's something deeply sacred about remembering those we've lost. Honoring their memory doesn't mean holding on to sadness. It means holding on to love. Maybe that looks like lighting a candle on their birthday, cooking their favorite meal, or finishing a project they once started. These gestures are more than rituals. They're bridges between the past and present. They quietly say, "You're still with me." Think for a moment, what's one way you could honor someone you've lost? It could be this man, whose passing sparked reflection, or someone from your own life whose memory you carry close. Maybe it's planting a flower, telling a story, or simply whispering a quiet thank you to the sky. Whatever it is, let it be an offering of love. And if you're grieving right now, consider reaching out. A friend, a support group, a spiritual space. Sometimes just sharing your feelings can ease the weight. It won't erase the pain, but it will remind you that you don't have to carry it alone. If you're standing beside someone who is grieving, be patient. Grief has no set schedule. Your steady, gentle presence can be more healing than you'll ever know. Absolutely, here's gently restructured into complete, well-paced sentences that carry a warm, reflective, and inspiring tone. When we hear news like this morning's loss, it often stirs something deeper within us. Questions that stretch beyond the routines of daily life. We start to wonder, what happens when we leave this world? What is the true purpose of our time here? These questions invite us to step into the spiritual side of our journey. They call us to look beyond the physical, to search for meaning in the mystery of life and death. For many, death is not the end of the story, but rather a transition, a return, a homecoming, a reunion with something greater than ourselves. In some faiths, it's believed to be a moment when the soul returns to the divine presence. One sacred text puts it beautifully: "Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his faithful ones." Whether you follow a specific spiritual tradition or simply hold a quiet belief in something more, there's comfort in imagining that we're part of a larger story, one that stretches beyond what we can see. Have you ever felt that connection to something greater? Maybe in the hush of a forest, the sparkle in a child's eyes, or a still moment when everything feels at peace. These are often the whispers of eternity, reminders that we are part of something vast, timeless, and beautiful. Some believe that those who've passed continue to reach out to us, sending small signs of comfort. A breeze that brushes your cheek, a favorite song playing at just the right moment, or a dream so vivid it feels like more than just a dream. I once heard a story about a man who had just lost his sister. The day after her passing, her favorite bird landed quietly on his windowsill. In that simple moment, he felt peace. He believed she was saying hello. Have you ever experienced something like that? A moment that felt like a gift, a feeling, a memory, or a sign that seemed to carry love across the veil? These moments remind us that love doesn't end, even when life does. As we grow older, many of us begin to think more about our own journey's end. And that reflection isn't necessarily about fear, it's about peace, clarity, and intention. What do you hope your final moments will feel like? Who do you want near you? What words would you want to leave behind? These questions may feel heavy, but they also carry a quiet kind of freedom. You don't have to answer them all at once. Start small. Maybe write a letter to someone you love, telling them what they've meant to you. Share your hopes and dreams with a trusted friend. If faith is part of your life, spend a little time in prayer, meditation, or reflection. These small steps can bring a sense of peace, not just for you, but for the people who will carry your memory forward. No matter what we believe, we are all connected by the same threads: love, loss, and the longing to understand why we're here. This man's passing reminds us that every life, every story, is part of that shared human experience. Take a quiet moment today to honor that truth. It might be a prayer, a deep breath, or a moment of gratitude. Whatever it is, let it ground you in the beauty of being alive, and in the mystery of what lies beyond. Sure, here's your section rewritten in conversational, inspirational English, with each sentence standing more clearly on its own while still flowing naturally. The passing of this man isn't just a reason to reflect. It's a powerful invitation to take action. What would it look like to live today with more purpose, health, and connection? Let's start with relationships. They're the heartbeat of a meaningful life. So today, take a moment to reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in a while: a friend, a cousin, a neighbor. It doesn't have to be a big, emotional conversation. Just a simple message like, "I was thinking of you," or "I miss our talks," can reignite a connection and spark joy on both sides. If that feels like a lot, start small. Send a quick text, leave a voicemail, write a short note. I promise you, the warmth you create with even a small gesture will stay with you long after. And if you're lucky enough to be near someone you care about, give them a hug. Physical touch is its own kind of language. It says, "I'm here," without a single word. Now think about one small change you can make today. Maybe it's drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning, or taking a 10-minute walk, or adding a colorful vegetable to your plate at dinner. Pick one, write it down, commit to it for a week. These small steps build momentum. They don't just add up, they create a rhythm of intention. Want some extra motivation? Share your goal with someone you trust. Better yet, invite them to join you. A walking buddy, a cooking partner, someone to cheer you on. It turns a new habit into a celebration instead of a chore. Talking about the end of life can feel heavy, But truthfully, it's one of the most loving, generous things you can do for yourself and for the people you care about. Have you written a will? Talked about your wishes with your family? These conversations ensure your values are honored and give peace of mind to those you love. You can start simple. Write down what matters most to you. If you're ready, open a conversation with a family member or speak with a professional. It takes courage, yes, but it's a gift of clarity and care. Gratitude changes everything. No matter your age, it's the key to a joyful life. It's about seeing the beauty in the little things. A warm meal, a kind word, a funny memory that makes you smile. Try this. Before bed each night, write down one thing you're thankful for. It could be as small as your morning coffee or the sound of birds outside your window. Over time, this simple practice rewires how you see the world. It turns challenges into opportunities. It fills your days with light, so ask yourself, what are you grateful for today? Hold that feeling close. It's a treasure no one can take from you. And finally, let's talk about forgiveness. Regrets and grudges weigh us down. They steal energy from the present. If there's something you've been carrying, maybe a mistake, maybe a hurt, consider letting it go. Forgiving someone else or forgiving yourself isn't about forgetting the past. It's about freeing your heart for today. Write a letter you don't have to send. Say a quiet prayer for peace. I once heard about a woman who forgave herself for a mistake she'd held onto for years. That one act opened her up to a joy she hadn't felt in decades. What might forgiveness unlock for you? Absolutely. Here's your conclusion, rewritten in an inspiring and conversational tone, with clear, complete sentences that flow naturally and leave room for reflection. This morning, a 71-year-old man took his final breath. We may not have known him personally, but his life has given us something profound. A moment to pause, to reflect, and to make a choice about how we'll spend the time we have. His passing reminds us of something we often forget. Life is fragile, like a precious thread we hold for only a while. Our health is not a guarantee, it's a daily gift. And through loss, we are offered lessons in grace, in humility, and in love. His story reminds us that our spirits are connected to something greater, something eternal, and that every single moment we're given is another opportunity to live with intention, to speak with love, to act with meaning. And you are still here, you're still writing your chapter, so what will yours say? Maybe it starts with a phone call you've been meaning to make. Maybe it's a step forward toward a long-held dream. Maybe it's a deep breath and a quiet moment of gratitude for simply being alive. Whatever it is, let it be true to you. Let it reflect the one-of-a-kind light you bring into this world, because that light is needed. If this message spoke to you, I'd love for you to join our community. We share stories, insights, and small, powerful ways to live with more purpose, joy, and connection. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Let's keep walking this path together. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you. What lesson did this reflection spark in your heart? Who is someone whose life has deeply inspired yours? Even more, what's one step you feel ready to take today? Your story, your courage, might just be the light someone else needs to take their own first step. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. Now let's go out there and make every day a masterpiece.